We're just coming into Derby, so we're going to go and have a look at the prison boab tree first up because that's on the way in.
Got a bit of a sad history, so we're going to learn about how it was used with transporting prisoners. In the late 1800s, the pearling industry was really starting to pick up here in this region, but there wasn't enough people. So these people called blackbirders were employed to come and catch Aborigines and take them off the boats to start work in the pearling industry. The settlers that were here thought that was a good idea because that would remove the troublesome young men from the local areas to stop Aboriginals, you know, interfering with their farming efforts and things like that. But really they were just stealing people, kidnapping them. And to do that, they take them to this boab tree. And this is the prison boab tree. I don't actually know how old this tree is, you know, 500 years plus, because the insides of the boabs are hollow, so there's no rings to actually age and date them. But look how massive it is, it's huge. And the idea behind this tree is that the prisoners, or those kidnapped, would be taken to this tree and then they'd be chained to it. So you can see this tree here until the boats would come in and people would come into Derby, come and get them, take them out to sea and put them to work on in the pearling industry, which is an incredibly dangerous industry. So it's really got a sad history, and it's pretty bad when you think about it. So this is Derby we're coming into now. We're going to get some fuel, get some supplies before we head off towards a modified version of the Gibb River Road.
Look at that boab tree, Harry. That one's got lots of leaves on it. Lots of the boab trees we've seen don't have any leaves, but these ones here do. Nice and healthy. We're going to go and have a look in the Norval Art Gallery. We've heard that there's some great artwork in here based around the boab trees, so we're going to have a bit of a look. Where are you from? So the boys have very generously been given a gift as we came into the gallery here. Oh, they are too. Do you remember what they were called? They were called, does it tell us here? So what ones did you get, guys? You got the turtle? Well, you got a dream catcher, that's lovely. Oh, and sharks too. Thank you, that's fabulous, very kind of you.
And the video's good, if the boys get bored they can come and draw.
Oh, thank you.
Take photos in the little room out there.
Super, it's beautiful so far. We'll go and have an explore. Here's some boab trees here, Elle. Elle, see the way they've used the artwork to depict the boab trees? So Harry's just been watching a video about an artist that did the paintings in this gallery that has these faces. So there's lots of pieces of his artwork throughout the gallery. So this gallery is all about supporting local artists and also encouraging the traditional forms of Aboriginal artwork, mixed in with some more modern and mixed media type artwork as well. Alright, we've started the Gibb. Doesn't look too bad so far.
No, this is a massive beat up. So we've decided, because time's against us, we've got so much we want to see and do around Australia. Just getting live reports from our travelling buddies. We're actually going with Lunds Lap, Gone Lappin' and Stargazing Days Lazing. We're going on a convoy, but we're not going to do the full Gibb. We've decided we're going to do Windjana Gorge, Tunnel Creek, cut down to the highway, and then go around and do the Bungles and finish up at Lake Argyle. We're going to do it as a future trip. We're going to do the Tanami, we're going to do the Gibb River Road, but we didn't want to rush it, and that's when you start to get problems, when you rush things and get some serious damage. So we're just going to do little bits we can, check them out, finish up at El Questro, sorry, at the end of this, we will go to El Questro, which is sealed, and save the tricky stuff for another time when we're better prepared and got a bit more time to really enjoy it and even get up to Columbaroo and places like that. So let's see what happens.
We're just coming up to the end of the sealed section here. There we go. Alright, I am standing in the middle of the beginning of the unsealed section of the Gibb. It was a pretty rude awakening to start with. It was pretty bumpy and hard dirt bumpy as well, which is different to the sandy bumpy that we've been doing so far. We've actually got another section of sealed coming up, so that's a little bit odd, but we'll air down here and then keep on going.
Got my rapid tyre deflator, which I keep in the back. That's going to let me take my tyres down. I'm going to go down to 25 psi on each of the tyres.
All around in the van too?
All around in the van as well, yep, absolutely.
It's kind of worse than sandy corrugated though. It's kind of a hard one.
Here we go, Gibb River Road. We have gone through bitumen, down to dirt, to bitumen, to dirt, to bitumen, to bitumen again, and this is now 110 kilometres on the Gibb River Road. So to kick off from the Derby end, you get quite a lot of bitumen. Our tyre pressures are low, so we're going not too fast. We don't want to put too much undue wear on the tyres. It's quite a beat up so far. We got told the info centre that it's really bad down to Windjana Gorge so far. But I tell you, we've done way worse roads and passageways than this. I'm half thinking about what we should just do to Gibb, just go for it and try to punch it out and sacrifice something else later in the trip. So there we go, famous last words. We've still got to get down the road to Windjana Gorge, which can be a bit rough, but this is looking pretty good. Oh gee, they're running for their lives now.
That one looks like he's having a little dance. It's like 5 o'clock dance time.
Happy hour.
Saturday night, having a boogie.
Nice to meet you. That's utterly ridiculous. He's barely moving. Coming into Windjana Gorge. Everybody's out.
20k to go. We're coming into the Windjana Gorge campsite right on sunset. So we've made it with no dramas. Nice smooth ride. A few bumps, but pretty smooth. And we're coming in to find a spot in the campground now. There's a couple of sections that you can book. We've booked in the non-generator section, but we'll have a look around and see where we can find some space.
We're set up here at Windjana Gorge, got the solar blankets out, solar panels cranking, and we've pulled in. When you come in, there's a heap of different campsites. This is called the quiet area. There's a generator area. The tip is the generator area is actually pretty quiet, not as many people. Everyone comes into the quiet area. But what you do when you arrive is you find one of these fire pits, park around it, and that's your campsite. You can book online, or there's a ranger on site that you can organise a campsite with. Plenty of neighbours here at Windjana Gorge. Check that out. All the eagles cruising around looking for scraps. They're everywhere. You can see here, there's the gorge behind us, that massive wall of rock reaching up. It's the afternoon, sun is setting, and we're going to go down and check out Windjana Gorge. So we've got a big crew behind us and about 10 kids, 8 adults, something like that. See if we can see a freshwater croc. The sheer rock face here is amazing. So this is all Devonian reef a long time ago, millions and millions of years ago, risen up above the ground.
Find one, Harry? Ah, the imprint of a fossilised nautiloid. Looks a little bit like a squid.
I don't feel safe.
I also have a bad feeling.
Coming through this cave here, so you pass through a bit of a cave down to the waterfront. And this is go time. We've got plenty of kids, there's 10 in total, so if we do have to sacrifice one, we can give one of the little ones away.
It's limestone, isn't it?
It looks like limestone.
There is limestone around here, Al. Yeah. See any crocs, Harry?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
I see one.
Apparently we're nearly at the crocs. It's only a short walk.
Oh, there. Let me see one. Oh, there's a croc there.
There he is in the water.
Oh, there's a snake over there.
They are there in the water.
Wait.
Oh, there's heaps.
Look at them all, everywhere. How many do you reckon are in there?
27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33.
So we're saying 33 crocs.
Easy. And
So there's 33, and then what do you reckon, double it for what's underneath?
And even down there, I haven't counted.
There's a lot of crocs. They said there's anywhere between 30 to 100 crocs in this water system. And the water's really, really low. Like, if you look at how low this is, that's it there, is absolutely full of them. You can see just how dry this whole riverbed is all the way around. It's so low. So all these crocodiles can survive in this water. As it sinks down, they curl up and go down into the very low water. So even if it's a small pool, there's a real risk of crocodiles being in there. So you need to be really careful. But it's a really cool thing to see. These freshies are awesome up close. But it's filling up with water before we take off here. So they've got showers, they've got flushing toilets, and they've also got these taps all around the grounds, so you can get access to clean drinking water, which is just fantastic. And as you can see, there's plenty of space here at Windjana Gorge, the campground, even shade. So given we're in Western Australia, it's probably bore water that we've got coming in here. We've got our little inline filter. So this is a best filter. It's as good as those dual filters you see. So I was talking to buying these, a little more expensive and do the job. And we've just got the water running through that straight into the tanks, and it's a bit of a low water pressure as you might expect. Once that's done, we're good to go.
We've just come out of the Windjana Gorge camping ground. It's actually pretty cool to still see the gorge wall as you're driving down. We're heading down towards Tunnel Creek, so down south. We managed to avoid any croc incidences in the water last night. Had a good look at them.
No issues, no bats got eaten by crocs though, so it was a little disappointing. But we're back on the road now and we're heading up to Tunnel Creek, where this time we get to swim with crocodiles, which has always been Steph's girlhood dream. We're looking forward to this one.
Can't be that bad, there's people everywhere.
This is the Devonian Reef Conservation Park, so this is home of Tunnel Creek. Just cruising on this road. The road's been pretty good along the way. There's a bit of corrugations, but it's nothing out of the ordinary.
From Windjana down to Tunnel Creek's been awesome.
Yeah, so just cruising in, taking our time, dodging the ruts and big rocks. So we've now driven from Windjana Gorge all the way along the road and come through to Tunnel Creek. So this is the Tunnel Creek National Park. And this is part of the Devonian Reef, so it's 360 million years old. So we're walking in a big group, we've got all the kids, go in there, check it out. I'm sure it's going to be pretty echoey. That's what happens when you travel with kids. All part of the fun. This region had quite a sad history. A bloke called Jundamara was the guy who was inhabiting this land with his Aboriginal people, the Bonuba, and colonisation was underway. And this was in the late 1800s. And the Aboriginals were trying to resist against colonisation and farming, and were attacking them and trying to stop people coming onto their lands, stopping the Europeans, etc., taking over their lands. Then there was this big battle, and Jundamara actually started to work for farmers. He thought, oh wow, I could work for the farmers and make some money and live a life. But then his Aboriginal people were saying to him, hey, you're Aboriginal, you should look after your own. There was a lot of conflict. He ended up choosing the Aboriginals. Caves were used by Jundamara to hide out during raids. So he'd come here after going and killing the farmers' sheep, and other Aboriginal people would be with him. He killed a policeman, took all their weapons and started a war. The war only ended when the police tracked him down to here at Tunnel Creek. So up here is where he had his last stand before being shot and killed, falling 30 metres. And then a reconciliation started to occur only after hundreds of Aboriginals were killed by the European settlers. The struggles between those coming to settle Australia and the native Aboriginals went on all across the entire country, but really brings it home when you come to places like this and understand here in the Kimberley exactly what happened. It's quite sad. Good learning experience for the kids. It's a good way to understand the Aboriginal culture and some of the challenges that they've had. It's only going to get better as we move down the Northern Territory too. I'm sure we start to learn more about them. This is one of the hardest class 2s we've had. Yeah.
I think it was class 2 to there.
Thought you were going a shortcut.
Where are you going?
Thinking about it.
It's the way that Ellen Jed
That's
went.
the way the boys went.
You know.
couple of crocs just chilling out over there.
So we've come into the tunnel. This is right at the start. A couple of freshies just hanging out there by the water banks. It's not too many. It's not as many as in the pond at Windjana Gorge. Beautiful waters. I'm not swimming in that one.
Aside from the tail dragging for mine.
Oh, you can see where they've come from, Harry?
Yeah, they came from over there in the water. They
Okay.
came from up there.
Yeah.
And over there. That
Yeah,
one.
that does look right.
That one.
Yeah. Stop there then, guys.
There's a crocodile.
Oh, where?
See its red eyes and you see its nose. And I did see eyes further back as we were approaching, but they went down.
Ah.
Then let Dad know.
Stand still. Everyone stand still. In 3 seconds, everyone's going to turn their torch off.
No.
Yeah, in 3 seconds. Ready? 3 seconds. Get ready to turn your torch off. 3, 2, 1, go.
He's gone.
Let everybody go.
Turn the phone off, Christy.
We freaked him out. He's gone now. Who was it? It was a croc.
There's crocs in the water there. Not overly keen. I don't know, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'll carry it.
And you're having me.
Surely there's a heap of people they're going to keep away. Now's the time to go if you're going to go, I reckon.
Right, we are crossing the waters here. So it's below our knees. Harry is super pumped about it, aren't you, Haz?
Every doing this.
You like animals.
I want to go through, but I don't want to get in by the crocs. Nobody's seen some crocs in here.
Yeah, we have seen some crocs. There's a couple of little ones around.
In here.
Yeah. Now watch for rocks. We're going to make it. We're going to make it.
Come on, Drake.
Yeah, I thought, Mark, that was no worries.
I like your plan, Em. Kids on one side and bread on the other. That's where my motherly instinct goes out of me. Yep. So we've done our first water crossing. Who knows what was below the waters, but we figured safety in numbers. There were some people who'd gone before us, quite a few groups of people. We were a big group of, 18 of us, so we all stuck together, got through. It's pretty awesome in the tunnel. It's something else actually, it's really quite interesting. It's a fully enclosed dark tunnel, so you definitely do need the torches in here. But the rock formations are really interesting, and you can see where the water has been when there's full water in here, when it's full height, and how the water has formed the shapes in the rocks. Oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel. This water's a bit clearer here.
That's why yeah, I know. I can test it. I know the depth. At the first half, it was up to here. It was up to this deep.
Yeah, this is the end. Oh wow, it's pretty out there. How pretty is that view? Wow, that walk is worth this view here.
At the end of the tunnel, you come out to this little waterway, Billabong. So 2 water crossings we've had to go through, and we've popped out the other side of the Napier Range. We've seen 4 crocs, apparently there's 5, so we haven't seen where the last one's lurking yet.
How pretty is that down here? Looking straight down. That's so pretty. Yeah, okay.
Something swimming across the creek. Goanna or something? It's a lizard. Nah, it's a lizard.
Oh yeah, he's climbing up. It's a iguana. See, he's over there and
Didn't know they could swim like that.
It's a iguana.
And up in the hills, up here in the rocks, there's some Aboriginal paintings. Okay, well look, this is our first taste of Aboriginal history. And as I mentioned before, you know, it's quite possibly these people hiding out here, hiding from the settlers.
There's one there.
Okay.
And there's one just there. Isn't it angry for that?
Oh yes, I see, yeah.
Then there's also one just there saying,
Oh yeah, you can see that faint one.
and mum, there's more up further. They were more up further.
Do you think there's more? How do you know?
They said there's more up further, and these aren't the only ones.
Maybe. None of us have been here before, so we don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Now for the long road back through the tunnel, through the water crossings, back out of the cars, so we can move on to the next stop. How we go?
We made it out. We've got 5 of us. Everyone.
That's a win.
It was really pretty at the end. The favourite part of my whole walk was at the end of the tunnel. When you came out into the daylight, you could see the river continuing on, and it was a really, really pretty view. Well, looks like we nearly made it. Oh, there's asphalt again.
Guess what we found. Is it black? It's black, baby. So that's it. That's the Gibb River Road, the crossing down to Tunnel Creek and Windjana Gorge. Really easy. I tell you what, we should have done the Gibb. I would have loved to have done the Gibb. We just put time against us, so we're going to come back. We're going to have to do that again and do the Windjana track and the Tanami and the Gibb all together, I think, when we're better prepared, because that was a lot of fun.
How good does that asphalt look? It was actually a really pretty drive coming back through from Tunnel Creek. There's an amazing looking area that was a reef apparently, thousands of millions maybe of years ago, very long time ago. It looked like an amazing place to stay, and there were lots of boab trees around too. It was a really interesting and pretty drive from there. Got through the roads and now we're airing up again so that we can continue on the highway. Noisy, honey?
Yeah. I took the rubber stop us off so I fit in the back of the car, so it's a little bit noisier than it should be.